The medical bay aboard the UESK Valiant hummed with its usual sterile efficiency. Lieutenant Anna Kowalski stood at the processing station, scanner in hand, working through the morning's queue of routine blood tests. Another deployment cycle, another 100 soldiers needing their biometric updates. She'd done this thousands of times. Scan, analyze, file. 15 seconds per person, like clockwork. Private Oliver Chen stepped up to the station, fresh-faced and barely 20 standard years old. New transfer from the Europa colonies, according to his file. Nothing remarkable. He rolled up his sleeve without being asked. The gesture of someone who'd already been through basic training's endless medical procedures. "This'll just take a second," Anna said, pressing the scanner against his forearm. The device beeped, drawing a microliter of blood through its molecular analysis grid. Then everything went wrong. The scanner's gentle blue glow flared crimson. Warning klaxons shrieked through the medical bay. Every terminal in the room flickered and died, their screens bleeding into static before going dark. The emergency lighting kicked in, bathing everything in harsh red. Anna stared at the scanner in her hand. Its display strobed with error messages in 6 different languages. Ancient Earth scripts she'd only seen in history archives. Sanskrit, Sumerian, Old Mandarin. Languages that predated spaceflight by millennia. What the hell? Oliver stepped back, eyes wide. The main terminal rebooted itself, its holographic display erupting from the console in a cascade of golden light. Text scrolled across the air in letters 2 feet high. Critical alert. Genetic match confirmed bloodline designation. Royal House of the Celestial Throne. Status: extinct for 847 standard years. Probability: 99.97%. Authorization level: Omega Black. Anna's training kicked in. She slammed the emergency lockdown button, sealing the medical bay. "Don't move. Don't touch anything." "I don't understand." Oliver's voice cracked. "There's been a mistake. I'm nobody. My family farms algae on Europa." The terminal wasn't finished. New text appeared, each line more impossible than the last. Subject: Oliver James Chen, direct patrilineal. Descendant Emperor Zhao Tianlong, last ruling monarch, Unified Earth Empire, 2891-2934 CE. Genetic markers, 847. Confirmed claim status, legitimate. Anna's hands shook. Every child in the Federation learned about the fall, how Earth's last empire had collapsed in the Fracture Wars, how the royal family had been executed to the last member, how humanity had rebuilt itself as a democratic federation from the ashes. The House of the Celestial Throne was supposed to be extinct. Wiped out. A closed chapter in history. "This is insane," Oliver said. "My ancestors were farmers. We've always been farmers." The door to the medical bay hissed. Commander Sarah Way entered, flanked by 2 armed security officers. Her face was carved from stone. "Lieutenant Kowalski, step away from the subject." "Ma'am, I don't know what's happening. The system just—" "I know what happened." The system did exactly what it was designed to do. Way's gaze fixed on Oliver. "Private Chen, you need to come with me now." "Am I under arrest?" Oliver's voice steadied, a hint of steel entering it. "For having the wrong DNA? Not arrest. Protective custody." Way gestured, and the security officers moved forward. "Do you have any idea what this means? If this information gets out, half the system will want to make you their figurehead. The other half will want you dead." Anna found her voice. "Ma'am, with respect, this has to be an error. The probability of a direct descendant surviving is exactly what the system calculated. 9.97%. Way pulled up her own datapad. During the Fracture Wars, one member of the royal family was off-world. Princess Mei Lin, age 17, on a cultural exchange to the Martian colonies. She went into hiding under an assumed name, married a colonist, had children, kept the secret for the rest of her life. Oliver's face went white. "My grandmother. Her name was Mei. It usually is in your family line, along with variations of Lin, Zhao, and Tian, genetic memory expressing as naming patterns." Wei's expression softened fractionally. "Your great-great-great-grandmother was very careful. She buried the bloodline deep, scattered your ancestors across the outer colonies, made sure you'd be farmers, miners, ordinary people no one would look twice at. Then why?" Oliver's hands clenched into fists. "Why have this system at all if the secret was supposed to stay buried?" "Because secrets never stay buried forever." Commander Wei holstered her sidearm, a gesture of peace. And because the Federation made a promise, written into our founding charter in Article 1, Section 7, if a legitimate heir of the celestial throne was ever found, they would be given a choice. The medical bay fell silent except for the hum of backup systems coming online. Anna watched Oliver's face transform as the weight of 8 centuries settled onto his shoulders. "What choice?" he asked quietly. Wei pulled up a holographic document, its seal bearing the united flags of 100 human worlds. "You can walk away. We'll seal this information at the highest classification level. You'll go back to being Private Chen, serve your term, go home to Europa and farm algae. Live a normal life. The Federation will make sure of it. Or you accept your heritage. Not as emperor, we're not going back to monarchy, but as a symbol, a living link to humanity's past, proof that we can survive anything. There are roles in the diplomatic corps, the Historical Preservation Society, the Cultural Unity Initiatives, places where your bloodline would mean something beyond just genetics." Oliver looked at Anna, then at the scanner still clutched in her hand, then at the impossible text floating in the air. 847 years of hiding. 847 years of his ancestors choosing anonymity over power, safety over significance. "I need to think," he said finally. "How long do I have?" 24 hours. Wei nodded to the security officers who stepped back. "After that, the system protocols require we report this to Federation Command. The choice will get a lot more complicated once politicians get involved." As they led Oliver from the medical bay, Anna found herself staring at the error messages still cascading across her scanner. One phrase repeated over and over in ancient script: "The blood remembers." She thought about Oliver's grandmother, whoever she really was. Mei-Lin, who'd watched her family die and chosen survival over revenge, who'd married an algae farmer and kept the greatest secret in human history, who'd trusted that someday somehow it would be safe for the truth to emerge. The scanner finally powered down, its last message simple: "Analysis complete." Anna smiled despite herself. In a way, Mei-Lin had been right. The Federation wasn't perfect, but it was fair. It gave Oliver a choice his ancestors never had: to be extraordinary or ordinary, and to decide for himself which mattered more. That, more than any bloodline or empire, was what made humanity worth celebrating. Outside the medical bay, the Valiant continued its journey through the stars, carrying within its hull a secret 8 centuries old and a young man who'd woken up that morning expecting nothing more than a routine blood test. The universe, as humans had learned time and again, had other plans, and humanity, as always, would adapt.